Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's insightful session on NLP for growth mindset. So, we are thrilled to have you all join us, and we explore how NLP can empower us to shift our mindset, enhance personal and professional growth, and unlock new possibilities. So, it's an absolute pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Ms. Shika. Shika, an ICF certified communication and life coach with expertise in mindfulness and NLP. Her mission is to empower clients to navigate personal and professional challenges. Leading with a holistic approach, her practice is dedicated to fostering mental resilience and physical well being. She is on a mission to help women and young individuals to overcome their fears, develop self confidence, have good communication skills, to have growth mindset, to have good mental and physical health, and to lead a happy life. She uses mindfulness and NLP techniques to achieve the above. So get ready for an engaging and enlightening session. We encourage you to take notes, ask questions, and make the most of this opportunity to learn from Shika's deep insights. So without further ado, let's welcome Shika to take us through today's session.
Atil, for the lovely introduction.
Yes.
And thank you all the participants for joining in. We are really excited to have you all here today. All of you have joined from office or you are at home? Okay, most of you are at office. And I request you all to be there at a place where there is minimum distraction and keep a notebook and pen ready to take a lot of notes, right? Okay, so let us begin. Before I get into details of NLP, I would like to share how did I come across NLP. 3 years ago, when COVID was at its peak, I had a disease where I had achy face, head, and throat muscles. I was kind of losing my talking ability, losing my eating ability, and my life was impacted. Health was impacted, because of which, being a trainer, my career was impacted. My tongue was also twisted on one side, and doctors said that it's a kind of neurological disorder. The signal from brain is not coming to my tongue. I developed a belief that I will be like this all my life. And I have no career now because I cannot talk. So my belief was health is zero, career is zero, relationships are also impacted when I'm not able to talk to them. Then I came across a very beautiful book called Power of Subconscious Mind, which made me realize that our mind has so much of power. It can not only heal diseases, but also help us to expand our full potential so that we can succeed in all areas of our life. And after I read that book, I started getting better in my health, in my career, as well as in my relationships. And then I got curiosity to learn more about how human brain works. That's when I decided to take up a course on NLP, right? So this is my story. And without any further delay, let us begin with the session. Let me share my screen. Give me a moment. I hope all of you can see my screen.
Yes, yes, Shika, we can.
Okay, so before I tell you, I would like to hear from you. If anyone can unmute yourself and tell me what is your understanding about NLP. If you cannot unmute, you can write in the chat box.
So for me, so when I came across, it was early this year, I came across the word NLP. It was a client who had this requirement But
Okay.
for me, it was so we have something called as NLP as a technical course. So then she explained that it's not that, this is so they wanted the group of team to come together and go with the same mindset, they come together, achieve a same goal, something like that. So that's when I came across NLP, but I would like to explore more. Not much idea.
Sure. Okay, so Ruchi says she hasn't heard about it. No problem, you will learn that today. So this is what we are going to learn today. What is NLP? What is our belief system? How is it formed? And we will do one technique of NLP that's called reframing that will help you to convert your limiting belief into empowering belief. Okay, so my request is stay until end of the session so that you learn this beautiful technique. We cannot do it in the beginning because first we need to learn what exactly is belief system, then only we can change, right? So stay until the end to learn this technique. Have you all heard about this beautiful quotation by Buddha? We are what we think. That means our thoughts manifest into our reality. That means it's very important to keep our thoughts clean and positive because they are getting converted into our reality. That is what exactly NLP says. Neuro linguistic programming, that means linguistic means language, neuro means brain. The kind of language we use to talk to ourselves, our brain gets programmed according to that. Now, this language can be negative or it can be positive. For example, if I'm saying, I am good at logic, I'm a good speaker, that's positive language. And I can also say, I can never learn swimming. My boss hates me. I never get appreciated for my work. That's negative language, right? Now, when we use this language for a short time, for a moment, it's okay. But when we use this language for a long time, for example, if I'm telling to myself every day, I never get appreciated for my work, I never get appreciated for my work, that becomes belief, right? So, same thought again and again becomes our belief. Now, the question is when our brain gets programmed according to that, we need to change this belief. Otherwise, what will happen? I will really never get appreciated for my work. There are two reasons for that. Whatever we think, our life becomes like that. Why? There are two reasons. First is our actions get inclined, get aligned according to the thoughts. If I feel I can never learn swimming, I will not even give it a try to learn, right? So my action is aligned to my thought that I cannot learn. Second reason, our subconscious mind is like a genie. Whatever we think, it says, like Aladdin ka chirag, it says, Tathastu. I can never learn swimming. It says, Tathastu. Now you will never be able to learn swimming, right? So there are two reasons why we attract what we think. First one is, can you write in the chat box? What's the first reason? Can anybody write? I told you two reasons why our life is based on our thoughts. What is the first reason? What we think is what we become. Yes. Why? My question is why? I explained you two reasons. Why so? Absolutely. Correct, Astha. our thoughts become action. Whatever we think, our action gets inclined to that. It gives us direction, absolutely, because our action is getting aligned to that. And second reason is our subconscious mind is like a genie. We attract whatever we think. Okay, now since we know that our life becomes according to our thoughts, it's very important to change our negative thoughts, our negative beliefs into empowering beliefs. And how do we do that? By using proven techniques of NLP. These are scientifically proven techniques that help us to convert our negative beliefs into positive beliefs. Okay, so moving further. Now, when I said the language that we use, it can be negative or positive. Accordingly, our belief will be negative or positive. How do we pick up that language? How does my language become that like that? Why do I feel I can never learn swimming? Or why do I feel nobody appreciates me? Why my language is that like this? That's because whatever I gather, whatever information I gather using five senses, okay, whatever I hear, whatever I feel, my language becomes like that. Can somebody type in the chat box what are the five senses I'm talking about? You must have done it in science in your childhood. The five senses. Yes, sense of touch, smell, sight, absolutely. Great. So these are the five senses I'm talking about, right? Sight, sound, touch or feel, smell, taste. But as far as NLP is concerned, first three senses are important. They are called modalities of NLP. If somebody has heard from childhood, you are good for nothing. A parent tells to a child, you are good for nothing. Teachers also tell to the child, you are good for nothing. You are a failure. You can never succeed in life. When that child grows into adult, will he be successful? No, because he kept hearing you are a failure. So what will he attract in life? He will attract more and more failures, right? So whatever we listen, whatever we experience, our language, our belief becomes like that. And apart from that, sometimes we attach our own language to whatever we listen. For example, I'll tell you, if I say, Astha, you look so beautiful today, what will she think? आज शिखा को मुझसे कुछ काम है. She never appreciates me. Definitely she needs something from me, right? So that kind of language also we use sometimes, and we should avoid that. We should avoid assumptions. And another example that I would take, boss scolds a team member, and other team members are like, आज बॉस अपनी वाइफ से लड़के आया है, आज सब इससे दूर रहो, right? So this is the language we attach ourselves. Did boss tell you he fought with his wife? No, right? Why do we think like that? Because since childhood, our conditioning is like that, to think negative. If something small happens, think more and more negative, right? Now we need to change that. It's high time we change that and improve our quality of life in terms of our career, health, and relationships, right? So that's why we are here to learn NLP. Okay. So as I said, that our belief depends on the five senses, whatever we hear, whatever we experience, whatever we see, right? But how does it impact our life? Let me tell you a small story. There was a weightlifter. He could lift weight up to 499.9 kg, right? 499.9 kg. The moment he used to see 500 kg, he used to drop. Why? Because it was in his subconscious mind, I can lift only up to 499.9. The reason could be maybe that happened with him 4 or 5 times earlier, right? So now it has become his belief that I cannot lift more than that. Now, what happened? His coach made it 500 and showed 499.9 only on the screen. So what weightlifter could see on the screen was 499.9. Actually, it was 500. He could lift it. Why could he lift it? Because he thought it's 499.9. So that's how our subconscious mind works. If it has decided to lift only up to this weight, whatever it is saying, it will believe only that. It will not go beyond that. Similarly, we get limited by our beliefs in our lives. So our beliefs limit our potential. Okay, so I hope you are getting what I'm saying. If you have any questions until now, please type in the chat box. Also, I request all of you to think and write one empowering belief and one limiting belief of yours. You can write in your notebook, and if you're comfortable, please write in the chat box as well. One empowering, I mean positive belief of yours, and one limiting belief that limits your potential, that stops you from achieving your goals. Write that in the chat box or in a notebook. I give you a few seconds. If you need time to think, you can think and then write it down.
Shika, it should be very specific, or it could be generic.
Anything. Few examples I can give you. I'm not a good public speaker. Um, I never get good boss. I never get good team. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. I'm a failure. I can never be a successful entrepreneur. I can never lose my weight. मेरा तो डीएनए ही ऐसा है. Hormones ही ऐसे हैं. I can never lose weight. Yeah, so these are few examples. Okay, so Anu said, whatever will come in my life, I'll handle. Great, that's a positive belief. Miss Anu, I request you to write one negative belief as well. I'm sure all of us have. Rajiv writes, I have not harmed anyone, so finally no harm will come to me. Wow, that's a wonderful belief to have. And what are your limiting beliefs? Patil says, holding myself from trying new things from fear of failure. Okay, so fear of failure is a limiting belief. Good. Anyone else would like to share a limiting belief? Why I'm asking you to write is because at the end we will do a technique, right? So using that technique, you can try to work on that. Amit Ram says fear of having limited knowledge. Okay. When others seem to know more than me. Got it. Anyone else would like to share? Okay. Even if you don't want to share on the chat box, it's okay, but please do write in your notebooks so that you can work on it later. This is another example how belief works. One second. Yeah. So until 1953, nobody had climbed Mount Everest. So there was a belief in the world that nobody can climb, right? Once one person climbed, the belief changed. The belief changed. And after that, if you see, in 1953, again, another person climbed. 1956, three of them climbed. That's how belief changes. If we change the belief, we can achieve our goals. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper on how a human mind works. Any questions until now? You can unmute yourself or type in the chat box if you have any questions. No questions. Okay, so let us move
I have
forward.
one question.
Sure.
You spoke about the language and how it influences even for the kids. Um, uh, so I just want to know what could be the small changes in our words, which can make a big impact uh, from.
That we will do at the end. I told you we are
Okay,
going to do reframing technique
okay, sure.
that we clarify this. Okay. Okay, so let's move further. All of us know human body is made of organs, nerves, and muscles. And what is human brain made of? Any idea what is brain made of? Anyone?
Nerves,
Neurons?
neurons. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so every human brain has approximately 86 billion neurons. That means hardware for all of us is same. Then what makes a difference? Why some people are more successful? Why some people are lesser? Why some people are healthier while others are not? Why some people are happy while others are sad? Right? So that depends on neuro connections and neuro patterns. Okay. So what's a neuro connection? The connection between two neurons. There are 86 billion neurons, and there are connections between two neurons. What is this connection? Whenever we try to do something new, assuming I do not know how to play guitar and I decide to play guitar, when I go for my first class, a new connection will get created. Why? Because I'm trying to do something new. Not only one, there will be many neuro connections created because I will learn many things in first class related to guitar. So right now you are learning something new, that is NLP. I'm sure there must be a lot of new neuro connections created in your mind, right? So neuro connection gets created whenever we learn something new. When I do something repeatedly, I play guitar every day, every day, every day. what happens? It becomes a pattern, right? So connection gets created when we do something new, and it becomes a pattern when we do something repeatedly. And we humans live on patterns. The way we brush our teeth every morning, it's the same way we brush every morning. It's a pattern. There is no change, right? We are used to getting up from the bed from one side. If somebody tells us to get from the other side, we become uncomfortable because that's our pattern, right? And some patterns are good, some are bad. The good patterns are, if I have to go from my home to my workplace, I would have by hearted the route. I don't even have to think, right? I can just follow blindly. I will reach because I follow that route every day. That's a pattern. Now, some patterns are bad. For example, some people have the habit of becoming sad. Some people have the habit of feeling not appreciated. Some people have the habit of um, bad habits. You can say bad habits. Eating junk food is also a pattern. Binge eating, watching is also a pattern, right? So they are all bad patterns. Some patterns are good, some patterns are bad. People who are in habit of feeling sad, they will find a reason. जैसे होता है पीने वाले को पीने का बहाना चाहिए, सैड रहने वाले को सैड रहने का बहाना चाहिए. Mind will find a reason to be sad because that's the pattern. Now the question is how to break those bad old patterns and create new ones. And the answer is NLP, right? So NLP is used to break the old patterns which are not serving us. If pattern is serving us, good. If not, then let's break it. And it is also used to change our belief system, convert our negative beliefs into positive beliefs. And third thing, NLP is also said to be study of excellence. It says rather than learning from our own failures, why not learn from success from others? Generally, we are told fail again and again and learn. NLP says, why fail again and again? Some people have already succeeded in your area. Learn from them, learn from their success, copy their patterns, right? So that success, you can achieve success faster. So these are three main benefits of NLP. Okay, so that's how our brain works and create patterns. Now, what is mind? Any idea what is mind? If I open human body, I can see brain. Can you see mind?
No.
No, absolutely. So most of you are getting it right. We cannot see mind. Mind is just a concept. It's a combination of heart, head, and gut. Whatever decisions we make in life, we make it using heart, head, and gut. Some of you must be surprised. Gut? Yes, gut as well. If our digestive system is bad, our mood is bad and we are not able to think what to do, right? That's because gut helps in decision making. All our intuition comes from the gut. Logic comes from head, that is brain. Emotions come from heart, and intuition comes from gut. All of them together make our mind. Okay. And we know that mind affects body, body affects mind. Any questions? Now we will move on to this technique for which all of you were waiting. There are many NLP techniques using which we can convert our limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs, but due to time constraint in today's session, we will be doing only one such technique, but actually there are 10 or 12, right? So are you all ready to learn this technique? Type ready in the chat box if you are ready. Awesome. So all of you are ready. Good to know. Okay, so I will explain this with the help of an example. And after that, you can try to work on yourself. First step is identify the belief that you want to change. I'll give you an example of a learner of mine who said, I cannot learn swimming because I'm already 50 years of age. That was her limiting belief. So, first step is find your limiting belief that you want to change. Second step is you can note down the steps and do it later. After this, after explanation, I will give you 5 minutes where you can work on this. Okay. After you have recognized, take a pause, close your eyes, like I did with my learner. Her name is Shweta, who said, I cannot learn swimming at 50 years of age. When she closed her eyes with a calm mind, I asked her to find an evidence, to find a reason why she thinks so. From where is her belief coming from? When she closed her eyes and thought with calm mind, she realized that her swimming teacher in school told her that she cannot learn swimming once she turns 30. So, can you relate from where the limiting belief was coming? From the words of a teacher. That's how our limiting beliefs are formed, from our senses. Now, after you know the basis, the evidence of that belief, find another evidence that will prove it wrong. Again, I asked her to sit with closed eyes and think, is it actually true? Nobody learns swimming at this age. And I asked her to think about people around her. Has anybody learned swimming at this age? Again, when she sat with closed eyes, calm mind, and took few deep breaths, she could think many such people in her life who had learned swimming at the age of 50 and even at the age of 60. After that, when I asked her, do you still feel that you cannot learn swimming now? She said, no, I can. She hired a coach and now she swims really well. I'm so happy, so proud to say that she really swims well now. Okay. So this is reframing technique. I'll briefly explain to you again. First step is find your limiting belief that you want to change. Find the basis for that belief. Why did that belief become your belief? Did you hear something? Did you experience something of that sort that became your belief? Next, find an evidence to prove that wrong. For example, if you think you can never be a good public speaker because you are from a small place, think of a person who is from a small place, but still he is a good public speaker. When you think about such people, your belief will change, right? So find an evidence to prove your belief wrong that will change your own belief. And it will get converted to empowering belief. Is that clear to all of you? Any questions in this technique? So Miss Anu has a question. Are belief and assumption same? Yeah, kind of. Um, Belief is something that is deep down in our heart and mind, that we have been thinking since long, since days, since months, and since years. Then it becomes a belief. Assumption is for a short term, right? And belief is which we are thinking since long. That's the difference. Okay, so now tell me, is the reframing technique clear to all of you? Do you want me to explain it again, or any questions?
Shika, I had one
Ruchi?
question. Um,
Yes.
okay, so basically, so when you say that, we have to pause and find the basis for that belief. So in the example, yes, there was a definite belief that as a childhood, that person was told that you cannot swim.
Hmm.
But sometimes, there could be a case where we are not very sure. There could be multiple things which would have affected us to make that belief. So in that case, how would the positive affirmation come, because it could be a little different. I don't know if the question makes sense, but
Definitely, there must be some reason. See, what happens sometimes we are not able to find the cause immediately. That's why I said sit down, calm your mind, take few deep breaths, and go down in the memory lane. Think, when was the first time you felt like this? Think about that event, that situation when you felt like this for the first time. You will definitely be able to find out the reason. And even if you are not able to find out the cause, that's okay. Find a reason to prove it wrong, right?
yeah, yeah. And how much time does it take to break down old patterns and create the new patterns?
It just takes 15-20 minutes if you really work with calm mind. If not, maybe 15-20 minutes every day, probably a week or 10 days, you are done.
And one final question to add to this. See, quite a few of us are parents here, and we see in today's children, right? So, how can NLP use for them, because
Okay.
they are
Okay.
exposed to so
Wait,
many
Patil,
things.
please hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. I will answer your questions after I make all of you work on this technique. Okay.
Okay.
Now I will put a soft music on, and I want all of you to sit down with closed eyes, calm down your mind, and work on this technique. Whatever limiting belief you have, just think, where is it coming from, and try to find an evidence against it to prove it wrong. Okay? I hope it's clear. I'll put the soft music on. All of you sit down, take 5, 6 deep breaths, and use this technique on yourself. Give me a moment. I'm putting on the music. I hope you can listen to the music. Give me a thumbs up if you can listen. Yeah. Take 5, 6 deep breaths. Inhale from your nose, exhale from your mouth. Now go down in the memory lane and think, from where is your limiting belief coming from? Just think, when was the first time you felt this belief? If you were able to find the cause, give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, you can think for a few more seconds. Okay, Patil says he was able to find the cause of his limiting belief. Now, Patil, you can find an evidence to prove it wrong. Again, take 4-5 deep breaths. If it was about you not achieving something, think of an evidence when you really achieved it. Looks like Patil is done. Anyone else could finish the technique and find an evidence to prove your limiting belief wrong? Raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. Okay, Amit Ram is done. Okay, so anyways, if you were not able to complete it, that's fine. You can go home and try to do it again. Sit at night or early morning. I'm sure you will be able to overcome your limiting belief. So, as I said, this is only one technique of NLP. Similar to these, we have 10 or 12 techniques which help us to get rid of bad habits, which help us to get rid of limiting beliefs and achieve our goals faster, right? Okay, anyone would like to share your experience? How did you feel doing this activity of reframing technique? Mr. Amit, would you like to share? You can unmute yourself and share. Okay, it feels good because we could recollect the past experience. Great. But were you
Yeah,
able to overcome that limiting belief? Do you feel better
yeah,
now?
yeah, I feel better now
Great. Good to know.
because, yeah, it was something related not to what I mentioned before, that is limited knowledge or something.
Mhm,
It was something related to driving. So I had previously had a fear of driving cars.
mhm,
So that was because of some past bad experience that I had long time, like 20 years before.
mhm.
So fortunately or unfortunately, I did not get the chance in this 20 years to drive again. But now
Okay.
we have a new car at home and I've been driving fairly well for the last 4 years. I think it is a combination of time, place, and situation which enables us to overcome this fear. I think it's more about that. So the
Wonderful.
time, place,
Yes.
yeah. So
Wonderful.
yeah, I think uh, more than like once we identify our belief, we
Mhm.
may need to wait for the right time, place, and situation, and then act fast on that, and that will help us to
Absolutely.
overcome that fear. I think,
Yes.
yeah, that is my
The first step
interpretation.
is identifying. Yeah,
Yeah,
identifying is very important. Once we identify, only then we can overcome that.
yeah,
Glad to know that it helped you. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Ria is raising her hand. Ria, please go ahead. What would you like to share?
So yeah, I used to be afraid of exams, and I used to go into a negative spiraling of thoughts and overthinking whenever I had to give an exam or something of that sort. So when I was able to think about it and recognize it, that this is where it's coming from because of my childhood experiences, I was able to, conquer that fear.
Okay, great. Good to know that this could help you recognize and overcome your fear. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to share? Or anyone has any questions? Please feel free to ask any questions if you have. Need
So
time to analyze. Okay,
I have a question.
sure.
So, what are some techniques that we can use on daily basis from avoiding into spiraling into those negative thoughts? Like, for example, what can we do, like journaling or something of that sort, so that we can reframe our mind according to it?
Yes, journaling is really a good technique. Journaling means writing down your thoughts. Whenever you face a bad event, you're feeling a bad emotion, write it down and think, where is it coming from? What is the trigger? So once you find out the trigger, you will be able to overcome that.
Okay, got it. Got it.
And gratitude technique is also actually good. The law of attraction, which is so popular these days, says we attract what we think. We attract whatever we focus on. If we focus on good things in life, if we feel gratitude for all the good things in life, thank you that I could achieve a small goal today. Thank you that I had food to eat today. So that gratitude technique helps us to achieve more in life. Feel gratitude for your small achievements. You will achieve more. Okay, any other questions? Patil, you had a question, right?
Yes, so we have very less time, so couple of them. So one was from the point of view of NLP being used for the children. And since a lot of us are from corporate background, we work in the corporate place, right? Companies. How do we use these NLP techniques in our workforce, when we work together with colleagues? So two questions,
So,
and we can take at least one or.
okay, so one is related to workplace, how to use NLP techniques at workplace, and second is, can we use with children, right? These are the two questions. Okay, so first I will answer for workplace. As I said, we did only one technique today, and there are many such techniques. Even this reframing technique can be used at workplace. A lot of people have fear of presentations, right? They feel they cannot present well. So reframing can be used to overcome that. Calm down your mind and think, where is this fear coming from? And think of a situation where you presented well. I'm sure once or twice everybody would have presented really well. Think of that time and prove your belief wrong. That if I have done in the past, I can do it even now. Right? Apart from reframing technique, there is a technique called anchoring. There is a technique called circle of excellence. There is a technique called perceptual positioning. So these are the techniques which we use at workplace. These are all NLP techniques. Okay. Now the second question, yes, we can definitely use that with children, provided children understand. They are at that age where they understand the meaning of belief, thinking, and all of that. Like my daughter is in class 12, and I use NLP techniques with her very often to work on her confidence level. You know, the board exams create so much of fear among teenagers, right? So NLP techniques really help her to boost her confidence level and perform better. So definitely these can be used with children. I
Thank
hope
you.
that
Thank you.
answers your
Yes, yes.
question.
Thank you, Shika.
Any other questions? No more questions? Okay, so thank you everyone for attending this session today. It was wonderful working with you all, and hope to see you all in further sessions as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shika.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
ma'am.
this insightful session on NLP.
My
So,
pleasure.
so it was great, so a lot of questions were there, and it was very interactive. And I'm sure these questions and the answers what you gave, will help enrich the experience for the participants, right? So I hope everybody uses these techniques in daily life, including me, and we look at a better understanding from NLP point of view, how we can go ahead in life. Right. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you, Shika. And
Okay, bye. Have a good day, all of you. Bye bye.